Hey, Coach. Um, you guys were at halftime only down by five. And then that third quarter, by the end of the third quarter is when things kind of got out of hand there. Just kind of what did you see there? What kind of went wrong that allowed them to just kind of get out to that lead and just never look back?
Well, I think we had some good looks at the basket up high in our offense. Some of the shots were pretty long threes, and they kind of turned into transition baskets for the Dallas Wings at the other end. They got the backside of our defense in transition, and hats off to the Wings. They do a great job in their transition game of pushing the ball and making you get back. But overall, I just thought in that second half, we didn't make our shots. We had some good looks, and we didn't defend in transition.
You have a follow-up, David?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll go to Bree Ingram.
Hey, Coach.
Hello.
So Lexi and Katie Lou are two of the best shooters on the team, and they have been very efficient from the three-point line this season. But tonight they were only able to make 1 3 between both of them. So what do you think is the key to getting them going and getting them more involved offensively?
Well, I think just more movement on the backside of our offense. Getting some touches for them in our transition game early, and shoot the three ball out there. You got to make sure that you have good passes, and sometimes our passing has been a little bit low. So those are some things you're going to have to still practice on and get better at. Those are two, yes, they're great shooters in this league, and we're going to find ways to get them shots off that 3-point line.
We'll go to Jackie Ray.
Hey, Coach, I know when you face losses like this, sometimes it gets frustrating. And when you're frustrated, you can end up being your own enemy. How are you really talking with the ladies and letting them know that we still have to keep pushing forward and not to let that frustration get the best of them?
Well, the main thing is, I know we had about a week to, practice, and, we haven't had a few games here for about, 5 or 6, 7 days in this stretch. So, I felt very good the first half of how we really came out. Our energy as a group is still up. We just have to, still, play faster in our game and, run some of the sets that we're running and continue to, put those baskets in. And once you do that, things turn around for you. I like the shots we got today. I wasn't really pleased with the defensive end and transition. I was really, kind of pleased with it for us half court wise. But, when you give up, 35 transition points, fast break points, that means that you got to really practice more on getting back on D.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The last one on the Zoom will go to Bailey Caldwell.
Hey, Coach. Strong game today from Shanae in particular. What have you seen from her as she's kind of getting back in her flow this year, coming back from injuries over the last couple of seasons?
Well, I just saw a lot of with her conditioning has gotten a lot better. I think her shooting range is starting to come in play, hitting that mid-range shot from 17 feet on out. The defensive play, she's always going to play defense for you and be aggressive and get you, those scramble plays. But you're very pleased of her play of, getting those shots up against, a good scrambling defense with Dallas putting out there on us. And with Shanae, she's always going to find ways to get the basketball to score inside or, get putbacks for you.
All right, we'll go questions in the room. Dorothy, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, Dorothy?
Well, talk a little bit about Christy Tolliver and what she gave you guys and just how she'll change the dynamics of the team right now.
Yeah, I think, with Chrissy Tolliver is, bringing her in with some limited minutes right now, just trying to get her in rhythm. This is her first game. I was, very pleased how she, came out and hit some shots, and she also carried too when she got the basketball to find her teammates. And it's going to take her about 3 to 4 games to really get in full swing at 100% for us up and down and conditioning wise, but very pleased of her actions, by how she's on the floor and was a good floor leader for us.
Coach, firstly, it's great to see you back.
Great to see you too. Thank you.
Just wanted to ask you, you're familiar with a couple of players on this team, Alicia Gray, Caleb Thornton. How have you seen their games evolve over their last few years? And, what have you liked from how they've changed?
Yeah, after, before Gray being drafted, first round when I was here, and and Thornton was pretty much a free agent, seeing her score first layup with one left hand. I said, yeah, we got to have her. But I'm so proud of them, how they developed their game and still been working hard at it and doing a great job out on the floor. I just think they're going to just get better and better because they're still young and they're going to, keep elevating that game to another level. And they shooting the three ball pretty well, especially Gray.
And as you're back in this head coaching position, last time you had Liz as well. Do you find yourself, kind of utilizing her in some of the same ways that you used to when you were here with her?
A little bit different, it's a different set with the guards. I think when I was here, it had, with Skylar and a few others. But here it's more of we got to round it out where we can get touches with NECA and, with KT, Tolliver. Liz is one we still go to her inside, and I thought she had a fairly good game other than the foul trouble she's got in. But it's a different structure here in LA than it was here in Dallas.
And can you talk about the difficulties of coming back to playing, after the break that you guys had 5 to 7 games or 5 to 7 days without a game?
Well, it's different than May because May we were playing every other day and on the road, for about 11 straight days or so, and having 26 travel days, then that was tough. So we're trying to still catch up. There's been a change, and so I'm just trying to implement a lot of things that I want to get in, and sometimes you just can't get in a week. It takes you a few games and a few more practices to get everything you want. So I know today we were hoping to be a more closer game or get that W, but I saw some in some players towards the end with a lot of fight and grit. And our motto is that we want to be a relentless team, no matter what the lead is. We want to, go out there and battle and fight. And, we've had opportunities to get it down to a single digit, and didn't happen for us. But I was very proud that the young ladies fought hard, stayed injury-free, and competed.
Coach, one more on Christy. Just how do you think the season on the Mavericks fence, how do you think that helps benefit her game?
I think it benefits a lot because, she can see a lot from different strategies and structure from the NBA side of things. Those guys are, 6'8", 7-footers at point guards and shooters. And it's a different level here, but him and her, her and I really talk a lot on the side and strategize some things. And I'm pretty much on the same page of what they do in the NBA with some sets. And she can see that. And that's helpful for us, but it helps for our game too, because she gets to run up and down the floor, with bigger guys, and sometime in her practices are passed to them, and it's helped her a lot during this off season.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right, Eli. We will get started with questions on the Zoom.
All right, David, go ahead.
Hey, this is for any of you. I know the last game that you guys played against Vegas last weekend, it was that second quarter where the game kind of got out of hand, where they kind of got some shots to fall from the outside. Today, that third quarter there seemed to really hurt you with their outside shooting in particular. I know after that last game, the Vegas game, you talked about NECA, you talked about the transition defense as being a big reason as to why that happened. Today, are those defensive issues? Are those some of the same things that you're seeing out there? Like what was it in that third quarter that really were able for Dallas to get going like that?
This is a question for me?
Well, for any of you.
Like transition defense, to be honest, like you have to have a focus on it, but then also too, understanding shot selection is also what contributes to transition defense. And so there are times when I don't know if we're very aware of like when the shot is going up for us to know to get back. And then also too, when we have turnovers, that's what leads to transition. They scored off our turnovers, and that's what a great team is going to do. So we have to be able to take care of the ball, understand shot selection so that we can make a team like that bring it out of the hoop more often instead of just kind of starting at our 3-point line and going into their offense.
Thank you.
Jackie?
Hey there. So I know, Christy, this one's actually for you. That's kind of piggybacking off of what Neka said. When you're on the floor and you're in those moments and you know, okay, we have to try to turn this corner. When you guys huddle up, are there thought processes and things that, especially now that you're bringing a whole new insight to the team, are there things that you see that you kind of communicate while you're on the floor?
I mean, I'm getting my feet wet, being the first
Right.
game, brand new team really, other than kind of really these two and one other from last year. There's a lot of newness. And so I'm I don't want to dominate the room with my thoughts or opinions. Like that's something I'll certainly collaborate with the coaches. But my wheels are always turning, but I don't want to overstep. And so I'm trying to find that balance right now. And yeah, I mean, it's game one. So I'm also trying to physically get myself in a place where I can kind of do my thing and lead by example in that way. But baby steps, we've still got a long ways to go, and certainly not panic mode or anything like that. But we're in the thick of the journey right now.
Yeah, if I could do a follow-up, Janae, despite the loss, there were some great moments in this game. Are there things that you particularly see that you guys are doing great as a team that you think if you can capitalize on that and you move forward, you can have more success?
I think we have strength in numbers, and just knowing that we have a lot of capable players that can go out there just incentivizes us to play harder every possession. So knowing that, we are a deep team, just sort of like, playing hard, knowing that it doesn't matter who's out there, we can compete. And so, but also that comes with like chemistry and figuring things out when we have so many new pieces. But at this point, it just is, I think the good is that we all are working hard. It's just now putting the pieces together over the course of 4 quarters.
Thank you.
I will open up for questions in the room. Go ahead.
Steve, what's it like to, start WNBA season in Dallas where you coach past year?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, honestly, the thing I was thinking about is this was our last game last season. Dallas was the team that finished our season. So big fan of Dallas, obviously now coaching with the Mavs. But yeah, it was nice to be here. It was nice to see familiar faces and, sleep in my own bed and all those things. Obviously wish we came out with the win, but I love the familiarity of the city and the people and the friends and family that are all here. So that was nice to be around.
What would you say are some of the key things you learned in your first year with Kid and the Mavericks?
Our theme all year was chemistry and accountability. And so, Jason's a Hall of Fame player, and I think, he has the potential to be a Hall of Fame coach. Just his leadership, the way he connects with players, the way he distributes roles with his coaches, he's just, top notch. And so for me to be around him every single day, I'm extremely thankful. But just his overall leadership, I think, and the way that he balanced everything was the biggest takeaway.
What's the toughest part about coming back from coaching? I know you've done some with the Wizards, I believe. What's it like coming back, this time compared to the first time?
Tough for here just because, we made a deep playoff run going to the Western Conference Final. So, just meeting up with my teammates and, everybody really late, missing training camp and, first 12, 13 games of the season. And now we're a very new team, back with the Wizards in the Mystics that we already had that team established. So just getting familiar with everybody, getting myself in, basketball shape. It's different when you're running on the treadmill or riding the bike versus having to defend and move laterally and all those things, change your pace and all those things. So that'll take a little bit of time, but I felt pretty good. I felt natural. Everything kind of came back, and I know it'll continue to come back as we continue to progress.
What was that ride to the Western Conference Finals like for you?
Oh, a blessing. It was really, really cool. I'd never been a part of, NBA playoff basketball before. I've won, with these guys, but it was different and it was really, really cool. And I love just the environment, the vibe, the attention to detail, just really knowing inside and out about, Utah to Phoenix to Golden State, the adjustments, all those things. Basketball junkie, like that's what you thrive for. And so it was really, really fun, really special. And those guys played their butts off, and it was just really fun to watch their joy and watch them grow throughout the course of the year, but especially in the playoffs.
And how much are you going to be in the coach's ear, kind of sharing some of those things that you've learned through that playoff run and really all season long?
Yeah, I will. I mean, like I said, I'm still kind of getting my feet wet. Like I don't want to overstep, but there are obviously things that I could bring. Just like Neka will, just like Chene will, like everybody, we're all experienced in different ways and stages. So, we will have those conversations. We're playing basically every other day now. So that's fun to me. Like, let's just play through it. Let's figure it out on the court. But we'll talk. I know Fred and the coaches, it's open door policy. So that communication is always going to be there. And so I'll certainly take advantage of it.
Any other questions in the room? Good. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.